Sir, now many put IPS first choice, thinking they'll always be DCP, commissioner, or SP, always in the limelight. But in reality, sir, when I read newspaper, when I used to follow you, you'll be suddenly in intelligence, important position. Suddenly within few days, they'll say, no, some other post. Suddenly commissioner, then some other post. Now, how you deal with it, or you treat all posts are equal only?
See, actually, I would love a job which involves field work. Basically, this is how I've always looked at policing, and this is how always my passion has been on field work most of the time. But as you grow, certain times they think that they tip you off for some good assignments. The intelligence is something which is not a great field work, but it's a different branch of work. But that gives you a different exposure, because initially when I was posted to an intelligence job, I was a little hesitant. Will I really fit into this job? Then I later realized I kept on being ticked off with this post repeatedly on and off once in a while. So I was just thinking that maybe I'm doing well there as well. So I would personally feel that it's not the question of many posts I've just come with reluctance, in the sense that will I be able to do better in this job? Like in the first assignment, I'm just thinking technical services. What kind of technology do I know? I'm not a very technical novice, but I'm trying to slowly learn and get to know more about the things that what does it deal with, how we can improve the system, how we can improve the functioning of this wing. So all you require is a passion and commitment. If you have that, I'm sure that you can do any job in policing extremely well.
Sir, how do you compare the field as well as the headquarter, the responsibilities in IPS, sir?
See, I love the field assignments because it's you meet people. Basically, the field assignments advantage is that you meet thousands of people. So in your tenure, stay there, you're there for about a year or two, would have met at least quite a few thousands of people. And when you listen to the problems, each one comes to you with a problem, which requires a case to be registered and investigated, or an inquiry to be conducted and solve their problems, or an issue that pertains to some streets, some locality. So when you do and handle all these individual problems in different situations, that gives you so much of satisfaction. When you complete and solve someone's problems and go back home, you have a very peaceful sleep. But in an administrative job, you come to police headquarters and sit there. It's like more like a 9 to 6 job. You come to the office, attend to files, have some meetings, review certain things. So this kind of gets a little monotonous after a point of time. Whereas in a field job, you can visit units, you can visit the police station, sit with your staff, meet your subordinates very frequently, talk to them, talk about the welfare, talk about the issues that they have in police stations, talk about the challenges, visit the police lines, police quarters, meet them. What are the problems of the families? Can we improve such infrastructure for them in those places? So I think field gives plenty of exposure to both outdoor and indoor work. Whereas in headquarters, you're mostly stuck to this indoor work. That's the difference.
Okay, sir. Now, there are, as you are being his SP also, and recently Commissioner of Police also of Madurai City. Now, what is the difference between SP and Commissioner or Deputy Commissioner, whatever? And what are the challenges, advantages and disadvantages of both these, sir? Or from IPS point of view?
Yeah. See, the commissionerate system was available in Chennai much earlier, but for the remaining cities, it started from 1990. Here in Coimbatore and Madurai, it started in 1990. So the other new cities are Trichy, Salem, and Tirunelveli and Tirupur now. The advantage of a commissionerate system is that the urban policing, it requires a very close monitoring. The urban crimes, the urban policing is totally different from the rural crimes and rural policing style, because rural, the issues are totally different. Whereas in urban, because of the density of the population, the property offenses are very high, the traffic offenses are very high, the road accidents also are very high. And similarly, a law and order challenge is also very high, because any protest or any agitation which threatens a society would require a different approach in an urban location than in a rural location. So district SPs, the district headquarters will be probably the only place which is little large in structure. Whereas in the commissionerate system, the entire city is huge, the population is huge, running to more than 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs, and Chennai city is more than 1 crore now. So the advantage of urban policing, the commissionerate system, is that you're able to specialize on different aspects of policing. You can look after crime work, you can look after traffic work, you can look after special crimes, you can have a lot of other economic offenses, the crime branch is there. So all that kind of gives you so many orientations. Similarly, it also empowers you to detain the antisocial elements and also the rowdy elements under the Preventive Detention Act. That empowers the commissioners of police to do it. By doing that, you'll be able to maintain total order in a particular city to ensure that the criminals don't misbehave or indulge in any vandalism at any point of time. So the advantage of a commissionerate is that the police is very composite. It's all very small jurisdictions, and the intense policing can be ensured in a commissionerate system. So I would say that commissionerate system is very much required in larger cities where people can meet the police, interact with the police faster, get their grievances redressed, because the density itself would require a lot more police personnel to address them exclusively and separately.
Sir, when say someone is working in IAS, now they go to a village. Now they see some to pacify or become friendly with that community. They can sanction, say, we are giving you this Indira Awas Yojana or this drinking water scheme, something. Now, an IPS officer, again, actually the IPS officers should get a lot of information to prevent so many future things. So is there any particular thing where you can also sanction or something else where how to attract basically or be friendly with the crowd?
See, there is the victim assistance relief which we give for people who have been, whose family members have been killed in murder cases, or there have been instances of rape, or instances of, sexual harassment. Many instances in which the money is actually processed and channelized through the police department to be handed over to the families of victims. So that's one thing which we can give. Another is there's also a reward system to the people, that anybody gives a specific information of some kind of threats to the internal security of the place, or any information about criminals or any rowdy elements or whatever it is it's given to them, you can reward the people as well. And what the advantage for the police is that very often we get an opportunity to work with the people together. Say, for example, if the temple festival is there, it's the police and the public, they work together very closely, because the people's participation is also there and the police participation is also there. That's why we continue to encourage a lot of community policing initiatives to work closely with the people of particular villages. Like we'll have this the world one, the vigilance committees in villages, the ward committees in different cities. All these have been formed so that people and the police work together. And that kind of rapport is developed so that they maintain order together in a particular place. As far as giving is concerned, this victims assistance relief is there always to the people, and the reward also can be given to the police, public informants.
Okay, sir. Now, till recently, you were commissioner for the Madurai. Now, you were in a crucial time, especially this COVID time. So, what were the challenges, sir, to keep people inside, again taking care of their needs also, and another side, because all of us, we common men or even others other than police, always staying safely inside their homes. But police have to being very vulnerable to corona also, so you have to maintain your the morale of your team also. So, how challenging it was and how you tackled it, sir?
See, because the challenges COVID was mainly to ensure that the social distance is maintained in public places, and also to ensure that the people wear the mask. These are the two big challenges for us to begin with. But later, as the days passed by, we had to enforce a lot of restrictions in the markets, because people started, coming in thousands in some of the markets, which had to be regulated. So that involved a lot of talks and negotiations with the traders, the merchants, the local people, and we did a lot of awareness programs. Like we sometimes in places we used drones for these operations. Then we had the autos were used in almost every police station jurisdictions to sensitize people to stay at home and not to move around unnecessarily. Then the challenges of seizing vehicles, because sometimes people were unnecessarily moving around, seizing their vehicles and detain them for some days and then release them a little later after a few days. So systematically, our entire focus was decongesting public places, because thankfully a lot of the transport was not operating, but wherever the markets were there, we did a very good job with the district administration in segregating the markets in different places. For example, if the Matutavani market was there in Madurai and also this Paravai market, we appealed to the traders to segregate them into at least 4 or 5 places, so that people don't come into one place to shop at a time. And similarly, in some places, wherever we found the markets were very crowded, we requested the traders to close them for a few days, so that we can open in kind of in batches, maybe open 50 shops today, 50 tomorrow, something like that. It all worked really well. But again, the challenges to the police was very high because the policeman had to go there, physically tell them, don't crowd, don't stand together, keep a distance, maintain the social distance, wear the masks. Such kind of campaign and awareness was very intensely done by the policemen. So it was a tough job because it involved from morning 6 o'clock, we start the work until everybody settles down at their home. Till 6 o'clock, we are busy. Then again, after 6 o'clock, we go to the residential areas, keep telling people in the lanes and by lanes to go inside, not to move around, not to play around, not to sit with each, not to sit with each other to kind of gossip. So all this kind of involved a kind of very great amount of work. Then the containment zones, where people had to be contained because of the spread, because of the local spread in those areas, convincing the peoples, ensuring the local needs. That was also very well taken care. But two good things we did really well in Madurai. One thing I could remember is the distribution of rations to the people. The police themselves collected their own money and also from public. And wherever they came across poor people, they distributed a lot of relief measures to some of the very poor families. So that was widely appreciated by the people because a lot of people benefited. Other was, there were roughly about, I think, 400 to 500 homeless people on the streets when the lockdown was announced. So along with certain NGOs and volunteers from Madurai, the police took the very active role along with district administration, rehabilitated roughly about 450 of them in different homes, and about 200 of them, their families were traced and they were sent back to the respective homes after taking them good care for about nearly about 45 days. A dedicated team was kind of working on all this. So that gave a lot of satisfaction to a lot of police personnel because they were positively contributing in a very crisis situation, helping people. And they also went to the extent of distributing masks. In many places, we had the policemen and police personnel distributing masks to the people. And there were also policemen who were distributing food. There was a constable who brought food from his home and they found a lot of people are not eating regularly, or in the sense there was no access to food in the initial days. He cooked his food at home and then came and distributed to a lot of public. So a lot of such positive things were done by the police and they really enjoyed doing it.
And I think that's the reason, sir, till you were there, okay, Madurai was under complete control. And recently, again, cases have started going up after you left. That's what is my personal feel. I do not know, sir.
No.
And, sir, one more thing, how you could maintain the morale of the police, because they are also humans, they are also vulnerable to corona, and generally people don't move to hospital, so some policemen immediately required. How you could maintain the morale to be fearless in that situation, sir?
What we did was, first of all, we had to sensitize our own police personnel because every morning we give them announcements over the wireless, ask them to wear the mask, keep a social distance, hand sanitizing, and not to touch their face with the hands. All these awareness messages we were continuously flashing almost 3 times in a day to all police personnel. And regarding deployment also, we did not continuously deploy them for 8 hours on duty. What we did was 4 hours of duty, go home, take rest, and then come back after another 4 hours, then finish the rest 4 hours. So he was not continuously exposed to the field for 8 long hours. So he was exposed to the people only for about 4 hours. Then he went home, freshen up, have a shower, drink, eat whatever he wants to have, then come back to the field for another 4 hours. So what I felt was continuously exposing a police person to the field for 8 hours, he is likely to take more load. But if he's exposed for a limited number of time, then the load is less. So that I think it probably seemed to work pretty well for us. And similarly, we kept on encouraging them. We tell them about the public cause as a service, what we are supposed to do. So when we told them, we just gave an appeal to the police personnel. If you want to help people in your locality, please help. That's the only message that we gave. So in police stations, they joined together, collected their own money, collected public funds. They gave rations to a lot of people. They gave vegetables to a lot of people, and they fed a lot of people. So all this was some fantastic work was done voluntarily by most of the police personnel. So it was a very great thing they could have done, actually.
Sir, now, you, as a policeman, what will be your feel? Because you work hard day and night, nab one accused, and still he is not a convict because he or she has to be taken to the court. But you'll be knowing, because you know the background, you don't know this person has done the crime. However, when they get released due to lack of evidence in the court, how will be your feel and how you tackle it, sir?
See, sometimes it hurts, but again, we keep following such people in the sense that there's any violation of bail bonds, if there's any violation of, if he is indulging in any other offenses. So we try to strengthen these cases, but still, because of the entire, criminal justice administration, because the bail is a right which the accused have, as a matter of right, they have it as well. So normally we try to complete the investigation of serious offenses as early as possible so that we can prosecute the people and get convictions. But sometimes when this happens, when the fellow walks out, we again have to hunt the same person, search if he's indulging in the same offenses. It does happen. It's not that, we're going to be happy when somebody is coming out on bail after committing a very serious offense. But I'm sure that our focus should be more on getting a conviction. Once we do that, that's the biggest satisfaction that one can get, actually.
Okay, sir. As a common man, whenever we see a policeman with a khaki uniform, first feel we get is a fear. And you should not say that, no, you should have done some mistake. Why that fear is there and whether it's right only?
See, I think socially our people are conditioned that way right from homes, because whenever there is a child who is like kind of, indisciplined at home, first thing they said that police are pidichu kudutruven. These kind of things is kind of putting some kind of fear in child right from childhood. So that's a very socially conditioned, I think, malady that we have been having all these years. But I personally feel that police should work towards getting the respect of the people, because do a good job, you're a professional police officer, do professional policing. I'm sure people will come forward to respect you and kind of, give you all the importance in society to work along with you. The fear is required for certain sections of people, like the criminals. If they don't fear the police in the jurisdiction, I'm sure they would continue to indulge in a lot of crimes, because whatever said and done, we cannot have a crime-free society. We have to work towards making a crime-free society, and we cannot have an ideal situation where there will not be any crimes at all. So criminals in society have to fear the police. It's not that they should have some kind of, feel little confident and happy about the way the police are. They should fear the police which is there in the jurisdiction. Whereas for the common man, for the people, they should respect the police, they should work with the police, and police also should work in such a way that they earn the respect of the police. That's what is very important.